Psalms 21. Psalms 21. I'm sorry to keep y'all standing. I'm sorry. Psalms 21. 21st number of Psalms. I'm excited to be here. It took my brother 3 years to let me come. This is our shade between one another. So, if y'all don't see me no more, I'll see you on the other side. This is the shade between the both of us. It took him 3 years to ask me, come over here. So, if y'all go out in the foyer, there's a petition on the clipboard that if I do a good deed and good job today, sign it, and I'm gonna turn it into your pastor. All right? I'm gonna petition myself to come back, and nobody can leave until you sign the petition. All right, Deke? Y'all make sure. I told the security guard I'll give him an extra $20 for those that'll sign the petition. I thought it was pretty. They had a parking space for me with a cone and everything, bright orange cone. I said, that's precious. So, Psalms 21, y'all, if you can't have fun, I'm sorry. This world is getting meaner and meaner every day. You've got to have something to smile and enjoy. I want to thank sister and brother for your hospitality this morning. Thank you so much. Thank y'all so much. I know my wife was late, but she's here now. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, sister. Thank you. It's going to be a long ride home, but I want to thank you. Thank you. Beauty takes a long time. But she's still thicker than a snicker, though. We'll get back in her good graces. Psalms 21, verse 11. Verse 11, y'all. Verse 11, Psalms 21, verse 11, just one verse. You have it, say amen. Amen. For they intended evil against thee. They imagined a mischief device, which they are not able to perform. For they intended evil against thee. They imagined a mischievous device, which they are not able to perform. And I am to talk to you from the subject, everything the devil tried didn't work. Everything the devil tried didn't work. Thank you. You may claim you ceased the grass with a flower fade, but the word of our God shall stand forever. Let the words of my mouth, meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Lord, my strength and my redeemer. Everything the devil tried didn't work. Brothers and sisters, all of us, if we're honest and we tell the truth, from January up until now, a lot has gone on in your life. Some stuff you can talk about, some stuff you can only tell God about. But in the midst of that, the shout part is you survived. Because it could have been worse. Because depression is real. And it's easy to slip into depressive situation because you don't think nobody loves you, nobody cares. You're there for everybody else. But when it's time for somebody to be there for you, you can't find nobody. Some of us would never been in the battle we were in if we were never trying to help someone else. The enemy came after you because you stepped in to help somebody who was about to be destroyed. And you question the question that you have when all you're trying to do is the Christian that God calls you to be. Yes, sir. And the question you have when everything is topsy-turvy in your house, because they used to have the saying, if it ain't one thing, it's another. And then also, if you remember, every time I look around, it's always something. And the question you have and the question you ask is, why is this happening? I don't bother nobody. and you don't bother nobody. You bless them, and the enemy can't stand you being a blessing. You were there when everyone needed you, but nobody there when you needed them. You helped people when you didn't have nothing. And they have the nerve to not talk to you because God blessed you with more than what you didn't have to give. You can't enjoy your season without the presence of those that didn't think you would make it. Some folks you don't have to look for. Because the thing of it is, those that you know that can't stand you will sit right at your table with you. They'll call your children niece and nephew. They'll invite you to everything they have. They'll let you come to their house, and as soon as they see you going a little more than them, they want you around because they think you need them because of what they have. But you have to be able to look your enemy in the face and say, I was already somebody before I met you. And when I leave you, I'm still somebody, because greater is he that is in me. I wish I had some Bible reading. Than he that is in the world. So keep your gumbo, girl. Keep your shrimp. Keep everything in your house, because the same God that blessed me, I can make it too. I can fry my own fish. I can eat at Papados, Razzoos, or wherever I want to. I don't have to eat at your table. As my mama said, I can cook my own food and be happy in my own house. Everybody around you is not happy for you, because your happiness disturbs them. Can I get a witness right along here? I don't even need these no more talk, Lord. Everybody that is familiar with you really don't know you, because if they knew you, they would know that you don't need them for nothing. I wish I had somebody help me talk. Because if we are really friends and really family, when you get mad at me, you'll talk to me. You won't go to Facebook. You won't send subliminal messages through nobody else. Because whatever you say to me should be said to me. And if you can't say it to me, keep your mouth closed. Because mama taught all five of us, if you ain't got nothing good to say, don't say it at all. But if you was big enough to say it, then you ought to be big enough to repeat it. And if you ain't big enough to repeat it, don't open your mouth. Preach, Stroman, I'm doing the best I can. Because God will use the people that are closest to you, not the ones that's distant from you. They'll use the ones that's closest to you, because the ones that's closest to you know all your secrets. They know your weaknesses. They know all the buttons to push. They know all the buttons to push, because you've been around them the most. You with them every weekend. They at your house, you at their house. They have a function, you're there. You have a function, they're there. But as soon as God opens the window of heaven and let favor follow you all the days of your life, the ones that should celebrate you are the ones that's cutting you. Am I talking to anybody in here? I just want to talk to the people that got some cut marks on you. And the cut marks wasn't from your enemy because you know how to handle them. The cut marks are from the ones that's your friend that you call family. And they don't even put a Band-Aid on it or even put some peroxide on it. They just watch you bleed. But little do they know, if God be for me, who can be against me? And then scripture says in the Old Testament, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. The Bible says, Psalm 21, verse 11 says, for they intended. Did y'all watch that? It's more than one person. Did y'all? They so pretty, they got it on the screen for you. For they intended, watch this, evil against thee. They intended. They wanted to do it. It wasn't no accident. It was on purpose. And you got to watch the people that want to get close to you because you're going somewhere. Because if you can't celebrate me in my struggle, don't come celebrate me when God put me in my success. Because if you can't celebrate me when I'm upset because I ain't got enough to do what I want to do, don't come around me when I got more than enough to bless you and me. Because you do know that there will be glory after this. I wish I had, I'm talking to somebody, y'all won't talk back to me. Because even though you're in a struggle right now, it's only for a season. Because the storm is almost gone, and I can see the sun peeping through the cloud. The storm is almost gone. Am I doing all right? Let me help you. Let me help you because let me see. Even though all of us are saved, we sanctified, and us is filled with the Holy Ghost. We know the Lord, and we love the Lord. But can I ask y'all a question and y'all won't put me out? You see, that second word is they. And I'm like Bernie Mac. I'm gonna say the stuff that y'all been wanting to say. The scripture says, for they intended. And I know y'all saved. I know y'all are. But can I ask y'all a question? Who the hell is they? Anybody want to know who they is? Because it's always they that got something to say. Always they that's watching you. Always they that's saying something. Always they that got a problem. Always they that got an attitude. Always they that got something to say about everything. But nobody wants to identify who they is. I'm good. Who is they? And you know, it's always, you always got one somebody that'll come to you and say, well, they said. They said, where you get that car from? And they said, how can you afford to wear all this stuff? They said, why the first lady got a new hat on every Sunday? They say, how did they call that pastor? They said, how did they get that car? They said, how are they able to live how they live? But nobody wants to ever identify they. But here's what I do. What you do? Because I'm kin to Peter. The ones that come and ask the question and talk about they and what they said, my response is, what did you say? Because you keep coming talking about what they said, and if you my friend and I'm your friend and you calling me family like I'm family to you, what did you say when they said it? Because if I'm close to you like you say you are, when somebody come talking to me about you, you should say, now wait a minute, now wait. So y'all know how y'all do it, sisters. Y'all know how y'all do it. Now wait. Now wait just a minute, because you keep talking about, you keep saying stuff about my family. You keep saying something about my friends. You keep saying stuff about you keep saying stuff about the people that I love. You ought to learn how to square up on people that keep running their mouths about the people that you love, because the more they talk and the more they give it to you, you carrying the trash, so they call you trash too. Because you do know trash needs something to carry it.
Trash carrier. Yes, sir. That's good.
For they intended evil against you. Brothers and sisters, they sit up and they imagine, look at it, a mischievous device. They sit up all night long talking about you.
Couldn't sleep. Come on here.
They should go to bed. But when they go to Luby's, they talking about you. Golden Corral, they talking about you. They go to Papados, they talk about you. And they go to church and sit next to the people that talk about you so they can talk about you. And can I help y'all right here? I know this might not happen in your church. I know this is a great church. I know this don't happen down here in Baytown. But in Houston, there's people in this section that don't like you. There's people in this section that don't like you. They'll come from this section to go to this section, and they'll get together to talk about you. They don't like each other, but they'll come talk. They'll come together and try to destroy you because they don't like you. But isn't it wonderful, though, that God is attracted to assumptions? God is attracted to assumptions. It's right there in the text. For they intended, they assumed to do you wrong. And don't you know that even though we don't hear what's being said, God hears everything? And sister, it's not always about what they do. It's about what they said. I ain't got nobody to talk to me. The most fights that we've had is about what somebody said. And the most we get in trouble for is about what they said. I'm cool with how you feel as long as you don't say it. I'm cool with it. I'm okay with your opinions. Keep them to yourself. Because I'm not living for you. If you don't pay a house note, car note, the light bill, water bill, gas bill, or my luxury bill, there is no opinion from you that I need. If you're going to put some money on the rent, we'll bless you and let you come on in. And you can say what you want to say, but until you give a monetary contribution, I don't want to hear nothing you have to say. But God is attracted to assumptions. Because when folks assume against you, that's when God starts working behind the scene. I ain't got nobody to talk to me. Have you ever been there, brothers and sisters, how you've been agitated and you get aggravated and you don't want to go to church? I don't want to have nothing to do with worship. I'm sick of church people. I'm tired of this church. You almost get like that little boy and you just say, I'm tired of this church. Because the more you try to do in church, the more folks got something to say. I know it don't happen down here in Unity. Because all you want to do is be a part of ministry, but it's the men and women in ministry that got the problem. Oh, my brothers and sisters, you have loyal and genuine people that just want to see God's work go forth. But the further ahead that you try to get, it's not that folks on the outside of the church that'll pull you down. It's the folks on the inside of the church that'll pull you down. If you sang too much, they got something to say. You always up saying something, they got something to say. But isn't it amazing that God, again, is attracted to assumptions? Because that's when he told David to write in Psalms 23, thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. I know you're frustrated. I know you're aggravated. I know you're upset and disgusted. But can I give you a fresh word on this second Sunday in Baytown to tell you, without no enemies, you won't have a table. Because if you got just a few enemies, you got a TV tray. But if you add some more enemies to your list, it'll move from a TV tray to a coffee table. If you add some more enemies to your list, it'll move from a coffee table to a dining table. And if you get the church people and the world folks together that can't stand you, but God will bless you more, he'll give you a conference table. And the only ones that can sit at the table is you. For they intended evil against thee. God is attracted to assumptions. And then watch this, y'all. God aggravates those that's angry. God is attracted to assumptions, but then God will aggravate the folks that's angry. As your pastor say, if you read the Bible, they imagine a mischievous device. Watch the last part, which they are not able to perform. Come here, let me talk to you. Because you'll have people get together to destroy you. But in the midst of them planning to destroy you, God had already fixed it to deliver you. You missed your shout part right there. Because the more that they trying to destroy you, God is doing nothing but building you up to deliver you. Can I help you? That's why he said, sit down on my right hand and I'll make your enemies your footstool. And what does a footstool do? Help you reach something that you can't reach by yourself. And you got to be able to use the people that try to destroy you to step on them to get up where you need to go. And you ain't stepping on them out of disrespect. You ought to tell them thank you, because I couldn't get here if it wasn't for you. I want to thank you for the stuff you posted on Facebook, because now I'm where God will have me to be, and I ain't even through yet. I want to tell you thank you. And if you know some folks in your phone, you ought to just text them thank you. Don't even give them a reason. Just text them and say thank you. And if you don't want to spell the thank you out, just put TY on it. They'll understand. Because if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be where I am. I wouldn't look this good, because I remember sitting in the dark and listening to slow music and almost in depression. But God came in and turned the light on and reminded me, if I'm for you, there's nobody can be against you. God is attracted to assumptions. Then he aggravates those who are angry. Because folks that see you coming, the stuff that they put on you, they thought that you was going to stop coming to church. They thought they were going to stop making you live. They thought they was going to stop making you smile. But now you shout even harder when you see them. Because you know some people, you know some folks they can't stand to see you coming. But sisters, when you know you've got God and God promised you all of what he promised you, you twist a little harder when you get in. Whether you got a good hip or don't, you just let it swing to the west and swing to the east. You swing it to the one that you love the best, and you come sit down on your good Baptist, and let everybody know I'm here. Brothers, you come in more cooler and debonair than you used to be. You let your swag get a little deeper now, because those that try to bury you got to see you rise higher than they thought that you would ever be. Not only will God is attracted to your assumptions. God aggravates those that are angry. But God then awards the aggravated. God awards the aggravated. You know who the aggravated are, don't you? You are the aggravated.
Go ahead.
Because you've been beat up. You've been bruised. You've been talked about. You've been scandalized. And won't that aggravate you? So let me say it one more time. Where the aggravated at? Because if nobody's talking about you, then you the one doing all the talking. If you've never been betrayed, then you are the betrayer. I think I got your attention now. Now let me ask it one more time. Who ever been betrayed? Because if you've never been betrayed, that means you are the betrayer. And you just acting like you've been betrayed. But God awards the aggravated. Sister, how does he reward the aggravated?
Watch it, sir.
He awards the aggravated because he says to us, eyes have not seen, ears have not heard, neither have it entered into the hearts of men the good things that the Lord has in store. But I like that verse 10 says, but God shall reveal it in his spirit. And my brothers and my sisters, you've got to understand that everybody is not going to be happy for your success. Everybody don't want you to get where God would have you to be. And what they'll do is try to set traps for you. But you ought to be able to do like the little rabbit on the commercial. You ought to be able to tell them silly rabbit tricks are for kids. You ought to be able to tell your enemy, I'm grown. Because I got something on the inside that will help me to get to where I can't get by myself. And sometime when you feel like you all by yourself, you ought to be able to tell somebody, I got someone who's always on my side. Can I get a witness here? Somebody here can testify that if it had not been for the Lord on my side, they'd be able to say, where would I be? But I can testify, I know where I'd be. I would have lost my mind long time ago. The stuff I did, I would have been dead long time ago. But thank God he looked beyond my faults and supplies all of my needs. Can I get a witness to talk back to me in unity this morning? Somebody here can testify that God never left you, even when it seemed like you were all by yourself. But some way, somehow, God was working behind the scenes. And when God get quiet, it just means he's up to something. And God won't tell you the plan that he's up to. But that just means he's just stirring up something to make something happen on your behalf. And I got scripture because I hear Paul saying, and we know that all things work together for the good of them that love the Lord and those that are called according to his purpose. Wonder, do I have a witness in here that God will give you more than what you have? And even though you got to lose some stuff. I preached a sermon one time from one of my favorite singers that says sometimes you got to lose to win again. And every now and then you got to lose to win again. Sometimes you got to lose a loved one. Sometimes you got to lose a job. Sometimes you got to lose that boo. But it's just for a season, because sooner or later God's gonna turn it around. Wonder, have I got a witness that God will turn things around and he'll turn it in your favor? Wonder, do I have a witness? I wish I had some church in here that can testify he will make everything all right. Wonder, do I have any witnesses that know for yourself God will turn things around for you? Every time I turn around, he keeps on making ways for me. Every time I wake up in the morning, he keeps on making ways for me. And not only is he making ways for me, but he's opening doors that can be closed in your face. But I even thank him for the doors he closed that I wanted him to open. You ought to have a shout right now and thank the Lord for the doors he closed, because they could have killed you. For the doors that you wanted open, you could have lost your life for the doors that you wanted open. But ain't God good that when he says no, he got a yes coming behind it? I wonder, do I have a witness that can testify that every time that I think I'm counted out, God count me in? Wonder, do I have a witness to testify to somebody next to you? If you want to see how good God is, just look at